Hey everyone, it's Casey here. It's Friday, May 1st. It's the start of the month, okay? And so wherever you start a new month, whenever you start a new month, I think it's really important to look back on April, right? And to then look forward to the next month. And so there's a couple things we could look at when we look at our previous month. First of all, look at all your blessings, look at everything that went well, and be thankful for those. And just commit to believing that more of the same is coming your way, and to act out the positive that happened last month in April. And for me, April was a good month. Very good. I did a lot of great things in trading and business and family. Lots to review and lots to be thankful for. But there was a lot of mistakes too. And so, when you have mistakes, you want to just try to fill them up and commit to not making those. And remember that this thing in life, it's a process. Trading is a process, life is a process. And it's really important to look back and then to look forward. So I had a great April. We had a lot of turmoil in the markets, a lot of turmoil in the world. Things had shut down, economies shut down. But me personally, and in my world with people that I relate with, we had a really successful and great month. And our lives got turned upside down a little bit, but that was okay. We adapted to it and we moved forward. And fortunately, it wasn't that terrible. There was some changes that had to take place, but nothing that bad. If there was some terrible things that happened, we still got to adapt no matter how bad it is. I believe that I can respond to any situation. I really believe that. And adapt to whatever life throws my way. And I think as traders, we need to have that type of mindset. So now I'm looking to May and I'm committing for success. I'm believing for success. And I want to use this video here as a little journal just to say it's May 1st. It's early May 1st. It's 7:43 in the morning. And I just want to commit to having a great month in every area of my life. I want to see improvement. I want to see growth. I want to eliminate mistakes. I want to learn from the mistakes. And I'm just going to go forward with a great attitude this month. And I'm actually entering into this month with a very high expectation. An expectation of success that's coming. I really believe in the success that's coming my way. I think it's going to be a great month. I think that April, as wonderful as April was, I think I can do better in May. And if not, I'm not going to beat myself up over it, but I'm just going to commit to moving forward. And I want to encourage all of you who have been following along with me on this journey, just keep moving forward, learning from your processes. So let's take a look here at some charts. This is... someone's calling me. Who's calling me? Funny. Hold on. They're not calling me anymore. Okay. So anyways, back to where I was. The charts. So yesterday, you guys could have remembered I was up on this pound-dollar trade, and it really spiked up nicely. You can see we had a really big move yesterday, 169 pips, and I'm still in the trade right now. And I haven't really changed my stop. I've got a little bit locked in. So let's start out by looking at a daily time frame. Okay, a daily time frame is showing upward movement here. And you can see that the big spike, okay? But the problem is this. The problem is that it hit this double top, okay? And so whatever happens today could be a really big indication of what's going to happen. Because if you see this double top here, my main thought was that we were crossing above this this moving average, the 20 period, 50 period, right? So I'm thinking, okay, we crossed above it. We could be looking for a potential up move. And so here's what I like to think happens. It comes up. Whoops, don't move that. Let me draw my line. I want to draw a line is what I'm trying to do. It moves up here, okay, and then comes back down and then moves back up to this level. So the problem is this retrace, this second leg, which is currently happening right now. You can see that it is dropping down. So I don't know how far that's going to go. So the way I could handle this is say, okay, I need to lock in some of this because I'm currently up pretty nice. I mean, right now it's 110 pips, so you can't really say, oh, 110 isn't any good. 110's great. So I got to be happy with that, and I could just lock this out. I mean, this is already, it's about a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio. So if I take this right now, that would be a win. Okay, and up here though, up here is closer to about an 8 or 9 to 1. Okay, so there's a big difference. I'm going to be thankful if I get a 3 to 1, but there's a big difference in trades here. Either one is really good. Okay, and so either one is great. But I don't want to give this all up, which could happen. Because if you look, this is actually what they call an inside candle. I had really learned a lot about this from Todd Mitchell in our training that we did, our online trading summit that we did on Wednesday, which was a huge success. So if you guys attended that, thank you. But I learned about this candle. And so when this closes, and it could come down and start a new downtrend. And so I'm going to be watching this and see what happens today, because anything could happen. We got news in 2 hours, so anything could happen on this trade. We could get a news and then we could end up breaking this high. So this could be just a pullback. Buyers could still be in control, but they're just trying to re-square up here. They're trying to re-push this candle back until it gets into this middle range for another push to the upside. Or it could close today and it could start an inside candle to the downside. So I don't really know what's going to happen, and I never do, but I just try to react to what the market's telling me and what's currently happening. So right now, as of right now, it's moving down. Let's go ahead and delete all these lines, and then I want to look at something here, the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so what we can see now is a very strong move up, and it popped up above these moving averages. And this is where I actually entered, was down here on this pop, probably this one maybe. And you can see that it just had a really strong move yesterday. And even yesterday, towards the end of the day, it was just really powerful. So it did get a strong rejection and pullback, and now it's headed down. And now we have this forming. You can see we have a little downward channel. Okay, and so what a lot of times these are, this is what people will call a bear flag. Okay, and so if that is what's actually happening, then what we could expect to happen is for this to just drag down for a while, and then eventually when it touches with this bottom trend line, it could spike up. So that's a definite real possibility, and I'm going to be looking for that. So one way we could trade this is wait for this thing to touch this level and then wait for bullish candle and then go long, right? You see how this candle is bullish? This is what, again, would probably be a nice definition of an inside candle. Or maybe not, because it didn't break this low. I'll have to watch Todd's training again. But either way, this is a very strong bullish candle. So looking for a candle like this to bounce off this level. We got a pin bar here. So that's one way, is we could try to really get a nice tight stop. The tighter the stop, the better. And you can afford to miss it a few times. So if I miss it once with a really tight stop, that's okay, because it's going to be, your risk is pretty small on a tight stop, and your gain is going to be big. So the reason it's tight is because you can put your stop loss right below this channel. So if I wait for a burst down in here and then get a nice reversal candle, I could put my stop right below here and get like a 5, 6, 10 pip stop. And I know that's a little crazy, but it works if you can time it just right. Another way we could do this, so I'm showing two different ways we can do this. Another way we can do it is we can, I'm going to talk about the euro odd in a minute. I'll talk about the euro odd in a minute. So Another thing we can do is wait for this moving average to break. So we see this, wait for this thing. It tried to break a couple times. So right now this moving average is in control. You see that? It's in control. And until it changes, it is a downtrend. However, if we keep going like this in this channel and we get a strong burst, a nice strong burst of power and a break, this might be another time to enter the trade. So what I possibly could do, and I've done this so many times, and it really is nice, is if I get a nice strong move here, I could add a position onto this trade. I could add one more trade and make it even bigger in size, a small stop loss, and then keep my target right here. I've done that before, and at times my our risk to reward ratio was much higher. I actually did it in my doubling class that I just recently attended on a Euro Australian trade. Just did it 2 weeks ago, and the students really learned a lot when I did that. So that's just something that we could do. So that's what I'm going to be watching now. We got news coming out today. I'm going to see what's going to happen with that. I might take another trade. We'll see. I want to look right now at the Euro Australian real quick, because that was the amazing trade that we took. For those of you guys that were in it with me, if anybody was in that, let me know in the comments, because I'm really curious. And remember, guys, I sometimes forget to say this, but this is all for educational purposes only. But we took this yesterday. Look at this trade. Wow. Crazy. We took this yesterday, and it was a nice trade. Remember when we took this? We took it right about here on this break. And actually, let me throw it on there. Okay. So, yeah, right? We took it right here. Actually, I was off a little bit. So we took it here. I took it on the bounce of the moving average. And so the actual trade ended up being 200 pips. But remember, it was 200 pips with a 38 pip stop. So that's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, I didn't get the 400 pips I could have got. So if I got 38 pips and I ended up getting 200, that's a pretty good risk to reward ratio. Let me bring my calculator up here just to see what that is. Okay, so if we get 38 and we times that by 5, that's 190. So it was a 5 to 1, right? If I would have held on, it would have been a 10 to 1, right? And that's ultimately what I love to get. 5 to 1 is a big winner. 3 to 1 is a big winner. 2 to 1 is a big winner. But 10 to 1 is a home run. This would have been about $500 in profit, which would have doubled my account twice on one trade, which is pretty cool. So anyhow, great trade. At this point, we just got to watch it. I'm not going to get in at this point because I've got this resistance and it's just really strong. So I'm just going to see what's happening. It's hitting this level. So I'm just going to now be watching the price action and kind of see what develops from this point. So let's take a look. The CAD Swiss has then dropped down a little bit. Strong drop. You can see it pulled up about above into this zone, and now it has dropped much further. Let me take a look at the US yen. So the US yen, you know, the market is always trying to play games with people. I always was believing that it was trying to go down here, but look what happened. It went up, took out these stops before continuing on the direction. So now it's on its way back down, and it's currently testing the lows. So I still think this is probably gonna get down here, but it doesn't, you can never know the journey that it's gonna take. You never know the journey it's gonna take. It would have been nice if it would have gone straight here. Like the Euro odd covered both zones in less than a day. That's awesome. You don't get that a lot. But sometimes it'll take everybody out and then go on the journey. So now it might be ready. It's just crossed below this moving average. I kind of like this setup. It looks good. It bounced right off the moving average here. I think if we get in, we could do this pretty good. I'm actually really looking at this one. I'm going to watch it even on a lower time frame for maybe even a tighter entry. like just even 5 minutes ago, I would have liked it up against this moving average. So hopefully we get some kind of pullback and get a short trade. So that's the US yen. One other thing I wanted to do now is just jump in on the spreadsheet here and finish filling it out. So we got this Euro Australian trade. It's 262.58. 262.58. So let me pop that into the spreadsheet. 262.58. Okay, so I'm going to plug that in, and everything's calculated up here. So you can see we had a nice bounce this week. You had a really bad trading and then a nice bounce this week. So that is what that happened. I'm going to leave a note here. I like to leave myself notes. This is the first of the month, like I said, so I'm going to insert a nice long note later. I'm going to write about a lot of cool things that happened in the month, what I'm looking forward in May, how this week went, what I'm looking forward next week, you know, how my attitudes were. I'm just going to write a nice little journal in here, and it's going to be really good. And I'll share it with you guys afterwards. I'm not going to do it right now, but I just think that keeping track of your mindset is really the way that this thing works. This is how it really happens. But you can see, just based off of this trade, some of my stats changed. My average win was $23, and now it's at 66. You could even go back to the video and see. And that's really good. That's really good. It's still not where it needs to be. I got to flip this, and I told you I would, and I will. I just made a couple mistakes, and I want to talk about that here while I'm waiting for this setup to develop. Let's see, Euro Yen. Actually, Euro Yen is dropping right now. I think I might try this one because, yeah, I'm going to try this Euro Yen because it's just, it looks really nice. I took it earlier and it didn't work out the way I was hoping, so we've got so this is a 21 pip stop. I'm going to risk 25, 22 pips, and I'm going to go for about 89. And we'll see what happens, but I like this a lot. It is kind of in a bear flag here, and so that could be a little bit of a problem, but I like what I see on this 4 hour. It just was really breaking this level, so we'll go ahead and do that real quick. And then I like this US yen. I'll still keep my eyes on that. Okay, so anyways, let's see what happens. All right, now I want to talk a little bit about mindset, and I'm going to back off here. And let me answer a question. Ariel says, why did the Euro Australian move like that? You know, honestly, I don't know. I really have no idea. You can never know what's going to happen with certain things. You just never can tell. So what I want to do now is I'm going to read to you guys. You know, I like to read to my kids, and they love it when I read to them. Reading is great. But I've got a book that I'm reading right now, and I just want to share it with you guys. So let me pull this out. And this book is right here. Okay, it's called Think and Trade Like a Champion by Mark Minervy. Okay, always be filling yourself up with good stuff, guys. Always. And so I'm going to read something from Mark, and it's just really good. Okay, so it says there are two types of traders inside of you and me and everyone. One I call the builder, disciplined and process-driven. The builder is focused on procedure and perfecting the method. The builder trusts that results will come if he gets the process right. Mistakes are viewed as teachers, constantly providing valuable lessons in a continuous feedback loop. When the builder makes a mistake, it's taken as an encouragement. That's one I won't make again. Ever optimistic, the builder looks forward to the day when results are achieved, good or bad, because the process is constantly being improved. The other trader is what I like to call the wrecking ball. Ego-driven, the wrecking ball is fixated on results. If they don't come right away, he gets discouraged. If a mistake is made, the wrecking ball beats up on himself or looks for someone or something else to blame. If a strategy doesn't produce winning results quickly or goes through a difficult period, the wrecking ball tosses it aside and looks for a new strategy, never really committing to the process. A wrecking ball, as you might guess, has tons of excuses and rarely takes ownership of the outcome, and as a result, never builds anything lasting or wonderful. But remember what I said in the beginning? You are not one or the other. You have both the builder and the wrecking ball inside of you. Just as every human being has the capacity for love and compassion, and also for hatred and harm, so which one is going to determine your results, the builder or the wrecking ball? All right, from Think and Trade Like a Champion by Mark Minervy. Really good book. Okay, so guys, listen. Wrecking ball or builder? What's it going to be? It's your choice. You've got both inside of you. I have both inside of me. And I am trying to get rid of that wrecking ball guy. He's still there. The wrecking ball is still there. And I thought that was really insightful and great. And no wonder the guy's a master trader because he's got the mindset right. He's got his game right. So that was really excellent, excellent reading. So I personally have both inside of me, and I can see it just by looking at my trading results. This week was the wrecking ball guy, and then this week is the builder. I need the builder to come out in May. So when I'm focusing on my May results, I'm going to focus on the builder. And that's just what we want to do. So right now, I want you guys to ask you guys a question. Ooh, it's blurry. I've been moving around too much. Ask you guys a question. What are you? What are you? Wow, what happened to my camera? Have to work on that one. Are you guys the wrecking ball or the builder? Do you see both inside of you? And which do you choose to focus on? That's the question. Please answer it in the chat or in the comments. Really would want to hear you say what you are and what you've noticed and what patterns of thinking you've understood and learned to develop inside of you. Right now, we want to be the builder. Okay, so let's really focus on coming up with some strategies to help us get our mindset right, our trading processes right, our systems right. We want to be the builder, and we want to really learn and have a process and be excited that the process is what's getting better, and not focus on results, not focus on the things that don't matter because they'll sabotage us for down the road. Okay, so let's check out this US yen is still dropping, and the euro yen, let's see what happened with that. Where is my chart? There we go. Euro yen's pulling back a little bit. We'll see how that plays out. And right now, let's go ahead and look at the pound dollar. Also still dropping. I would love to see this thing pop up. And if I get a nice pop on it, I am just telling you guys that if I'm in front of my chart and it happens, I am going to add to the position if it pops up. If it doesn't, then I'm just going to let this thing ride out right to my stop loss. But otherwise, if I get any kind of upward momentum at all, I'm going to add to the position. So Q says that he was the builder, but he has been the wrecking ball lately. Well, you know what? That's good, man. That's good that you identify it. So now you got to realize understanding is the key. You don't know what you don't know, right? So you might not have known that there were two people inside of you, but they are there. But now that you know, you got to focus on becoming the builder, and it's on the things that you think about in your mind. You know, you have to, the battle is in your mind, and it's what you think about. And I don't care what anybody tells you about a special system. If you have a great system that wins a lot and your mind is jacked, you might make a ton of money trading and then blow it the next day on something stupid and your life gets ruined. You've got to have the right mindset for every area, and you've got to think properly and positively in order to breed success, because it's all in the mind. And you've got that wrecking ball and that builder inside of you. And we got to focus and think about the right things. We got to focus on our process. We got to focus on our attitudes. We got to focus on the good things, the positive things, and throw out the negative. We got to take responsibility and take ownership and not make excuses. We have to focus on certain processes and our discipline and on the end result of our trading, not on certain things like, oh, I bought this indicator and it's crappy, it doesn't work, that's why I'm a terrible trader, or I just can't find the right system. That's not true. It's not true. There's systems there everywhere. But what the problem is, it's our thought processes. It's what we think about. We become what we think about. You have to think. Look at the name of this book. You have to think and trade like a champion. You have to think and trade. You have to think and trade. You have to think and do. You have to think like a champion. You have to think like a master trader. You have to think like a successful person. The battle is 100% in the mind. Okay, and Paul, thanks. You're working on it. I know you are, and I believe you can do it. You're at the right place at the right time, and May is a new day. May is a new day. Look at April, look at the mistakes, and say, you know what? Those mistakes were building blocks for it was a launching pad for my success. My mistakes were a launching pad for my success. Look, I'm not going to dwell on them. I'm not going to forget about them, but I'm not going to dwell on them. I'm going to look at them and say, yes, I did that. I'm learning. Everybody goes through the process. Every single person. Okay? And you guys who are on here, you're struggling to be the builder. A lot of people struggling to be the builder. And focus on your process. Focus on the end result, on your mindset. Believe that you can do it. Believe that the market wants to reward you for good behavior. All the market really does, the market's crazy. But really all it does is rewards good behavior and punishes bad behavior. It's like the ultimate teacher. It's amazing. If you behave badly in the market, it will punish you. It's literally one of the most incredible experiences ever, because if you act badly, you cannot get away with it. You can get away with it for a little while, but eventually the market will take you to task for your behavior. Okay. All right, guys. Euro yen is backing up, so maybe this US yen is backing up. Nope, it's not. So, Euro Australian just keeps on going. So I'm going to be watching this too, just to see. But right now it's pretty strong, and I don't want to get in on a just straight up. I'd rather watch this thing pull back a little bit and go. And who knows what's going to happen? It could actually go for quite some time, or it could have a big strong rejection too. So if we look at our power indicator, pound CAD has got a really, so the pound is weak right now. So hopefully that will stop here, but it hasn't shown to happen right now. This bottom level, we'll see what happens when it comes up to this bottom. We might get a nice rejection here, or we could see more losses. Always I say the obvious things, but that's just how it is. Well, that's a great idea, Ariel. Take the money on the pound dollar and decide where it's going to go and then continue. That's actually a really good idea, rather than give up my gains, right? And then I could get back in when I decide. That's actually really wise. That's really wise. And I will probably do that at this level, because right now I wouldn't want to get out right now, because look, there's two levels. One here, and then there's this channel. Okay, so I think that there's a really strong possibility we could bounce on it. And so that's really what I'm hoping for. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong, and I'll get out and I'll take what I got. But otherwise, that's a really good thought. Okay, so US yen, I'm looking for any kind of pullback to go short. Looking for any kind of pullback to go short. And of course, there is news, so we'll be watching for that. The news comes out at 10 o'clock. Okay, well, anyways, I'm going to jump off of here just because I've been waiting for setups and they're just not really happening. But just take what I shared today, quick little lesson. Think that could be valuable for everybody. Again, I appreciate everybody's comments, feedbacks. It's really cool to be able to spend some time with everyone. And hopefully some of these lessons are going to be taking root inside of you, and you'll be able to share with us your success as you're developing as a trader. All right, well, that's it for now, and have an awesome weekend, and I'll be back soon.